Coming up next, a video on 5 great all-weather fragrances. We always see videos, and I do them too, like, you know, top 5, top 10 for summer, winter, spring, whatever season you may be in. But these are gonna be my top 5 for all year round, meaning you can wear them in basically any condition, cold, hot, middle ground, beach weather. These are very versatile fragrances, and some of them are a little bit under the radar, as I always like to bring to you things that maybe you didn't necessarily think about. So find out what they are coming up next. Welcome back everybody to Joel the Nose here at Osme Perfumery, and today's video, as you saw from the intro, is going to be about my top 5 favorite all-weather, all-season fragrances. I've said this many times before in my videos that living here in Miami, where it's hot all year round, with the exception of a few days where it gets maybe a little bit cold, you have to learn how to wear fragrances basically all weather, all the time, no matter the season. So I feel like I have a little bit of, I guess, authority on this, because whereas a lot of people won't wear certain fragrances in hot weather, I wear everything from the most, like, basically dark, heavy fragrances that most people would only wear in the winter. You have to wear them here if you like them, otherwise you'll never get a chance. So having said that at the outset, let's get right into this. And this is gonna be in no particular order. This is gonna be, again, I'm not ranking them, I'm just giving you 5, my top 5 that I think are really good. And first we'll go here with, from the house of Xerjoff, this is Neo. Neo is one of their, you know, I think more popular classic fragrances. A lot of people know this fragrance and they love it. But let me just read you a few of the notes, the reason why, and you'll see maybe a trend a little bit. But it's got bergamot, neroli, cardamom, nutmeg. So it's got some both citrusy, which are typically going to be warmer weather fragrances, but it's got some spicier, warmer notes like nutmeg and cardamom. Those are considered like cold, spicy notes. So what it is they're not necessarily hot, okay? They're not going to necessarily be too warm for you, but then you also go into a base of cedar wood, gaiac wood, vetiver, and patchouli. So you do have some notes here that kind of balance out the both, I think, citrusy, lighter elements to the little bit darker notes. Therefore, great combination, makes this wearable all year round. Next, I'm gonna go with, from the house of Fragrance Dubois, this is Oud Vert. You know, Fragrance Dubois is one of those houses that, besides the packaging, the bottles, the sprayers, which are all first rate, produces some really good, exceptional oud fragrances that, for the most part, unless you do something like Sahara, which is really strong oud, most of these are very wearable ouds. This one, Oud Vert, essentially stands for green oud, has a very vegetal green opening, but it's anchored at the base by a solid, beautiful, not too overpowering oud note. So that combination, again, of both that kind of, I wouldn't say citrusy, but that green top, almost kind of citrus-like vegetal quality, combined with the oud, makes this a fragrance that can really be worn all year round. Let me just spray it there. It's even got a little effervescent quality to it, which I like, almost a little bubbliness to it. So Oud Vert, Fragrance Dubois. Next, I'm gonna go with another French niche house. This is Lark, and it is Argentium. Now, Argentium is one of, if not the most popular fragrances from this brand. I really enjoy this brand. Again, to me, it's one of the more under the radar niche houses that deserves a lot more love. If you go explore some of their fragrances, from both the feminine side to the masculine side, they cover the entire spectrum. But Argentium, and sorry, my camera is going out a little bit here. This is, again, a fragrance, let me hold it up there, that combines at the top some citrusy notes of orange, also got cardamom, okay? So that cardamom gives a little bit of a spiciness, a cool spiciness, not too warm. but then you mix it with the heart note of agarwood, again, some nutmeg in here, again, some cool spiciness, and then some sandalwood, some musk. So that combination, again, I just like the both combination of a little bit cool citrus, spicy, with warmer woods in the heart and the base, make this a fragrance that is absolutely wearable. Oh, great sprayer. Ah, love it. This has been one of my favorites for a long time, Argentium. Extremely popular, by the way. Look at the bottles. Also one of my favorite bottles on the market. It fits so well in the hand. This is just perfectly packaged and well designed. Love the house of Lark and Argentium. Next, let's go to the house of Veronique Gabai. And on this one, I'm gonna pick another one that may be a little bit out there for some people. This is, they write the name on here at Osme, Vert Désert. Vert Désert, I haven't talked about this fragrance in a while. This is one of my main fragrances in my personal arsenal that I get to wear all the time. It is, to me, the most sublime, delicate, beautiful mint fragrance that I have smelled. It is not a mint that smells like, for those of you who are a little bit scared, like chewing gum or maybe disinfectant or something that you would put in your house. Oof. This is a fragrance that is both uplifting and calming at the same time. Mint can do that in a fragrance. If you look at people who have used mint in their perfumes over the years, they do it sometimes for a calming, sometimes they do it as an invigorating, because mint has that invigorating aspect. It kind of triggers elements in your nose and your mouth that almost like kind of wake you up. But this is a fragrance that I'll put on, I'll wear it all year round. And this is perfect when you're sitting and you're chilling in the house. Maybe at the end of the day, you come home, you had a long day and you want to relax. Perfect. Maybe it's the start of the day and you got a long day ahead of you. You look at your calendar, you wake up, you look at your cell phone, you look at what's on your calendar, you see you have like 7, 8 appointments, phone calls, you know, and you're like, oh, or you got to run the kids to practice or whatever it is. You got a bunch going on and you need a little pep in your step. This is a fragrance that does it all. So it's so versatile. It's almost bipolar to use a term that's not exactly perfect fit, but it is, again, bipolar in the sense that it can be both uplifting and calming. And that's going to bring me last but not least, of course, to Orto Parisi's Bergamasque. Bergamasque. Take a look there. I've talked a lot about this one recently, having just added it to my personal collection after many years of having samples and loving this fragrance, but for some reason not having pulled the trigger. I'm so glad I pulled the trigger and bought this. It is, if you think about it, look at the words, it's Bergamot and Musk. It is right at the top, this flash of cool, almost metallic bergamot that's so fresh and intense, but it's anchored by this musk that's not an animalic musk. I think it's more towards a white musk that gives it some smoothness, some sensuality. But those white musks, and I'm assuming that the white musks they use are synthetics, like something like Hedione or Galaxolide, which are very long-lasting synthetic molecules that have a lot of tenacity. So when you think bergamot and you're like, okay, it's a lot of citrus, it's not gonna last that long. This is beast mode. It's gonna last you all day, but it's a great fragrance in the middle of winter when you need to be reminded of the kind of warmer times, the sunnier times, the oranges, the citrus. But because of that tenacity, you're gonna smell it all day, even in the cold weather, which a lot of times suppresses fragrance and suppresses your ability to smell, because in the cold weather, the reason why that happens is because you need heat. Heat is what activates the molecules in scent for your nose to be able to basically receive and smell that. So if it's too cold out and there's not enough heat, you don't get that activation of the molecules that your nose can smell. But anyways, I'm not gonna go into a science explanation. That's just a really basic explanation of how our noses perceive smell. But there you go, Bergamasque from, let me just show you, Orto Parisi, there you go. So there you go. My top 5 right now fragrances for all weather, year-round, all-season fragrances. Wear those cold, hot, medium, rainy, beach, whatever you want. I'll be back soon with another video. Thank you guys as always for your support and for watching. Peace, love, and perfume.